Hey guys, welcome back. We want to thank you so much for listening to Geeky Girls Night In. Typically there's two of us, but sometimes things happen. Last month I went on vacation and was gone for a few episodes, and now it's Rebecca's turn. I know that when she was gone, she had a few guests, but I don't feel like it. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like going back and forth with somebody that I don't really know all that well. So you've got just me. This is Leslie, by the way. Hello. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back. Rebecca should be back next week. Right now she is vacationing with her family, and I hope they're having a good time and eating all of the food. So just a couple things to start us off. One, we haven't mentioned it yet, but just so you guys know, we now have a P.O. box. Hooray! So if you want to send us letters, cards, hate mail, please don't send hate mail, that's just rude. You want us to try your product and talk about it on air, anything like that, you can send it to P.O. Box 90232, Indianapolis, Indiana 46290. I'll go ahead and put that in the show notes as well, just so you know that it's there. You can address it to Geeky Girls Night In. You can address it to Geeky Girls Guide to Life, because it's also their mailbox. You can address it to Quinzel, Rebecca, or me, Leslie. Any way you want to do it. So it's there, it's available for you, and I hope you'll utilize it. We all enjoy receiving mail, and even though it's coming to Indianapolis and we're all scattered to the winds, I have no problems going out and sending that out to everybody. So there you go. Also, there are different ways that you can contact us. We also list these usually on the show notes, but I just wanted to give you a reminder. Anytime we ask a question, or even if you have a question or a fun geeky story that you want to tell us, that you want us to share on air, or if you just want us to listen and not share it on air, that's up to you. Anyway, you could give us a call and leave a message at 785-746-2604. Our Instagram is Geeky Girl Guide, and we'll get a little bit into that a little bit later. Our Twitter is Geeky Girl NI. And like I said, all of this is usually in the show notes, but I just wanted to give you a reminder. And of course, our Facebook page, which is Geeky Girls Night In. So feel free to give us a chat. Also, if you want to shoot us some mail, you can reach out to me at leslie@geekygirlguide.com. And also in the show notes, I usually put my Fortnite name and my Hearthstone name and things like that. So there you go. Well, there's not a whole lot in news today. I've been playing some games past couple weeks. Fallout Shelter, which is a phone game, and it's from the Fallout franchise, of course. Now, when this first came out a couple years ago, I played it, and I was horrible at it. I couldn't get my shelter up to like maybe 25 people, and then death claws would come in and kill everybody, and I wouldn't have enough money to revive everybody, but I didn't want to throw them all away and get rid of them because they had on outfits and had good guns and stuff, so they would just lay there dead in the vault until I earned enough money, and then all my people were upset because all these dead bodies are around. It was a mess. It was a mess. It feels like that has gotten easier. I have a lot of caps, currency, and there's caps. Death claws, no problem. I have people running quests, no problem. I don't know if it's easier or I've gotten better. So I want to say that I've gotten better, but who knows? Also, my vault is a disorganized mess. I'm playing it along with my husband. We play it on separate phones. He showed me, I didn't realize how disorganized my vault was until I looked at his. His are in perfect straight rows with their perfect little elevators. And then there's mine. I just threw in stuff where I had space. So we're calling it a Vault Tech experiment, because if you've played the Fallout franchise, you know all of the vaults, most of the vaults at Vault-Tec created were experiments. There's the one in Fallout 4 where they froze everybody, but it didn't quite work out well. So this is a Vault-Tec experiment. Can you get from point A to point B in my vault easily? So there you go. I'm also playing Fallout 4 because as of right now, I am not buying Fallout 76. I've heard too many bad reviews. For every 3 bad reviews I've heard 2 that say it's not bad, but it's glitchy. Why would I want to spend $60 on a glitchy game? You know? So I'm gonna hold off until it's a little less pricey. I already know it is November 25th as I'm recording this. I saw yesterday on Twitter that it has already dropped in price. So I figure by the end of December, after Christmas and like I have Christmas money, it'll have gone down enough in price for me that I'll purchase it without feeling meh. Also, I think I might be a little too high strung to play Fallout 4. I'm one of those people that I swing around if something attacks me and I'm just shooting all over the place. Don't know what I'm shooting till I see it. And if it's a mole rat, it's down on the ground. So then my mouse is going crazy. And then I didn't realize this before, but don't play any games with me, like shooting games, first-person shooter games, unless you want to hear screaming. Because if I'm startled, I scream, scare everybody in the house. I'm okay with that. You might be okay with that. You never know. So, yeah. Also, I picked up Fortnite for the first time in probably a month and a half. And the thing about Fortnite is that it doesn't change. Like pieces of it change, but it doesn't change. But it's been a month, so I've already forgotten how to use the controls. That was kind of surprising because I jumped right in the game and realized, crap, I don't remember how to build. I don't remember how to do this or that. And also, I think because I've been gone so long, my keys have been changed. Because it just, like, I know for a fact I didn't have 2 keys to build stuff, to get into the build mode, and now I do. So I need to go in and fix that before I play again. However, when I did go in, I did not die instantly, which is always a plus in this game. I did die multiple times, and the mode that I was playing allowed me to be revived over and over again, which was cool. So I did die multiple times, but not before I took out a massive amount of the other team's mascot, which was the mode that I was playing. So we're good there. Also, Leisure Suit Larry, I'm bringing this up because I realized on my review, I didn't realize during my review, that I hadn't played as much of it as I thought. Like, I played it for like 4 hours straight, and I didn't play it this week, but the fact of the matter is I played it for 4 hours. I'm only 10% of the way in. So if you like games that are puzzles that will keep you busy for a really long time, I think Leisure Suit Larry is what you're looking for, even if it is a bit perverted. Just be prepared for that. And if you've ever played the Leisure Suit Larry games, you know how it goes. So, or if you've even heard of them. Like I said last week, I played it back in the day, and then I had a teacher bring it up when I was in college, and she absolutely hated them. So there's that. So that's all I've been doing pretty much in video games. I've had a little bit of time, more time than I normally do with work and everything. So I put it to good use. Also, I am taking part in one of the reading challenges in Goodreads. My goal is to read 75 books in 2018. And we've mentioned this on the podcast before. I am currently 1 book behind schedule. That does not mean that I'm 1 book away from the 75. It means that I put in the amount that I wanted to read, which was the 75. Goodreads calculated, okay, well, you need to read this amount of books per month, and I'm falling behind that monthly schedule. So honestly, I don't think I'm really behind. I think it's that I forgot to log a couple of the books that I have read. So like I went back and I made sure that I logged all those books, but I'm still 1 behind. So maybe it is right. Maybe I am. I am 1 book behind schedule, and I have 66 of the 75 read. So I have till December 31st to finish. And as a result, what I've done is I've picked up a bunch of books from my local library. Now, when I personally say that I've picked up books from the local library, that means that I've gone online to our library website. I always have to do it in my head. It's Indianapolis Marion County Public Library. So impcl.org. And then from there, I go to the ebooks and then I check out a bunch of ebooks. I've also gotten some freebies, and also for some reason Amazon sent me an email earlier this month and they offered me Kindle Unlimited for 3 months for 99 cents. So I picked that up as well, so I can now borrow books from Kindle Unlimited too, which is pretty cool. Right now, this coming up is the list of books that I currently have out that I'm trying to read and get through. So the first one is called Third Daughter, Royals of Daria series, and it's by Susan K. Quinn. Now, I got this book for free about a month or so ago on her website, so you may want to check that out and see if it is still free. She had a couple of books on there that are free, and I have those on my Kindle, but those aren't the ones that I'm interested in reading right now. Just trying to get through my library haul before I get to the free books. But I had already started reading this, and I'm 61% of the way through the book. It's a fairly easy read. It feels like it's a young adult book. Susan K. Quinn is great at world building, but I am struggling to root for these characters, and I've had this problem with a couple of her books, but Singularity in particular, I believe. The main character in that, I just wanted to fight all the time. He was annoying, but it's still a great world building book. I like the books. It's just struggling through it. Basically, the young protagonist in this is the third daughter of a royal queen. The first daughter is required to get married to build allyship. I believe the second daughter is too. The third daughter is she's allowed to do her own thing until somebody asks for her hand in marriage. So she was like a few days away from the birthday that would let her do whatever she wanted to do, and she's kind of engaged, and there's a whole like intrigue, mystery going on that could harm her kingdom, and then she's trying to figure out. So we're working on that. So also from the library, I picked up something called The Gilda Stories by Jewel Gomez, and I forget how I found this book. I think I found it on Goodreads. Like, I was clicking through authors and it was like, oh, if you like this, you may like this. And like the description started out with Black lesbian vampire, and I was like, huh, I should probably check that out. So I started reading it, and it's confusing because it's about a vampire named Gilda, but in the very beginning of the book, Gilda's a white woman. She's a vampire and she's a lesbian. Well, there's no black lesbian vampire. So you have to read further to figure out what's going on there. And so far, it's so good, and I really recommend it. You're kind of seeing the world through their eyes. People said that in the reviews I read, they simultaneously trashed Twilight and other vampire stories and built this one up. You can like them all. Like what you like. That's my motto. So, but I am enjoying this. It starts out kind of slow, but it picks up really quickly. So it may be something that you're interested in. Also from the library, I picked up The Secret Life of Lula Darling by Alex Dean. I haven't started this one. It was on request from the library for a couple of months before I could even get it. It's a 14-year-old slave in 1894, and she's transported through time. I don't know what time she's going to. I don't know what's going on, but it sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. I also picked up Through to You by Emily Hainsworth. It's a young adult, and it's a male protagonist, which in young adult I've rarely found. So his girlfriend dies in the beginning, and then some things happen. That's as far as I'm going to go. Some things happen, and he meets a mysterious young woman. There's always a mysterious young woman, isn't there? Anyway, he meets a mysterious young woman, and things aren't always what they seem. So there's that. I picked up The House of Shattered Wings, and that is the Dominion of the Fallen series by Alette D. Bodard. And it's about the aftermath of a war in heaven. And the war in heaven came down to earth and wrought destruction. So I haven't, like the rest of these, I haven't started reading yet. So I don't have anything, I don't have too much to say about them, but they all sounded really interesting. That's why I picked them up. And I thought you guys might be interested too. There's one called Hold Still by Nina LaCour, and I think that deals with young adult and suicide. So be warned on that one. Another one is called The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I've read a ton of her books and I love them all. So I don't see how this one will be any different. I think this is a collection of short stories. I was looking for a particular story and couldn't find it at my library, but I found this book, and this book includes that story. So there you go. Also, The You Know Who Girls by Annemieke Hessek, and it's young adult, and it's about being yourself in high school, and it's got LGBTQIA themes, so we'll see how that goes. Trail of Lightning, it's the 6th World Series by Rebecca Roanhouse, and I believe a guest that we've had on the show was the one that told me about this. I can't be 100% certain, but I'm fairly certain, because it's not something that I would normally pick up. It's about a Native American monster hunter, and it's in the vein of supernatural. So we'll see how that goes. I have about 10 days before that's due back, and that one is forever. Like, I've had it twice and I still haven't read it. And as soon as I go to try and get it again, it's always like on order. Like, it's always on hold. I have to wait till people get through it. So yeah, that's the list of books I'm reading. If you're interested in the books that I've read thus far this year, or any of the books that I've read at all, I am MRSCKUGS on Goodreads, and I'll put that in the show notes. And just so you know, I don't write reviews on Goodreads. There's no point for me. I have a blog. If I'm going to write a review about a book, I'll put it there. So that makes more sense. Also, Quinzel has been busy this week. She went to Geekmas, and it's a geek holiday shopping event, and she took over Instagram and showed you a little bit of everything that was there. So if you're interested, head over to Geeky Girl Guide on Instagram to see some of the things to put on your Christmas list, as well as some things that you may want to give. Also in Geeky Girl Guide to Life News, if you haven't yet, you need to check out her Ralph Rex the Internet review. It is spoiler free, so don't worry about that. I plan on having a more in-depth review of Leisure Suit Larry posted to the blog this week. Also, I was speaking with Quinzel, and she asked if I wanted to do a review of The Grinch. Fun fact about me, I hate The Grinch. I don't like any of the movies of it. I don't really like the book. It's just not my cup of tea. I can't really tell you why. I just do not like it. So she requested a review of the holiday movies that I do like. So I will be working on that here shortly. So that's about all for this week. Like I said, it's been a holiday, so there's not a whole lot going on around here. I would love to see any of the geeky things that you have picked up for Black Friday. So if you take a picture of it and hashtag it GGNI on social media, I'll be able to take a look at it and leave you a comment and see. So there's that. Make sure you drop by and say hi to us sometimes. We also love it when you give us reviews. Probably iTunes is the best bet for us to get reviews, and we would just absolutely adore it. Also, if you are interested in podcasts and you haven't found any that you like recently, go on Twitter and check out the hashtag Podern Family, PODERN FAMILY. There's a great group of podcasts that hashtag their stuff that, and you can see what they have going on. Also, in the vein of reviews, really quick story. When I was in high school, I was in marching band for a couple of years, and my instructor was fond of, if you make a mistake, you do a couple push-ups and you're celebrating as you're doing those push-ups because you're celebrating getting better. We can't get better if we don't know what's going on. So we really, really do appreciate your reviews. Positive, negative, anything, so that we know what we need to do to get better. That is all for this week, and I hope you guys will come back next week, where Rebecca will be back and we will be hanging out. Talk to you soon. Bye.